Good morning, investors. Welcome to the market review for the 26th of June 2014. The trade of today will be Tiger Brands, TBS. Last traded price is 299 Rand 20 cents. Action is a short trade, trading from a high to a low level. Entry level to trade the share downwards will be 300 Rand and 29 cents. The target will be 266 Rand 87 cents. And the stop loss will be 370 Rand. Looking at this chart here, the expectation if it breaks this lows here, entry at 329, going back to almost the low of 266 Rand 87 cents. If it bounces back and it goes up, high, stop loss 370 Rand. Looking at the open trades at this moment, ACR, Goldfields, Mondi, Imperial, MTN, African Rainbow Minerals, and Bidvest. This is currently the top 40 on the end of day chart. The blue line is the actual index movement, coming a bit down. And do you see this grey line? That's a 20-day moving average. Going to the Dow Jones, they were a bit positive last night on the close. And just by looking at this, you can actually see this cycle happening, low, high, and it actually came down to this black line I'm actually indicating here, and it bounced a bit higher on last night's close. This shows you a bit of a sideways cycle and a lot of uncertainty in the markets. The markets tend to have big upward movements and big downward movements on specific days on the market. So this is a cycling movement. Still didn't break the second black line downwards to go physically in the downward market as yet. Looking at the J200, that's the top 40 shares on the JSE. They started to come down here. Now I'm just going to extend this channel line here quickly for you, so you can actually see where it's currently trading at. I'm going to use, look at this bounce here on the bottom here. Now we need to see if this is going to be a low level, bouncing higher again, and start breaking this new high here, as you can see it. But what I'm going to do now for you is I'm actually going to show you on a live chart with an hour delay pricing for the last 2 months what the JSE top 40 actually did. This was the kind of sell-off that you see that happened on an hour chart. This is the breakdown, and it started to bounce back on this 45,400 points here, bouncing back almost to 45,600 in a small recovery. If we go and put this in a half an hour chart, you can actually see it much better here. So look at this low, higher, and suddenly these low points were broken by these low points, forming a new channel going down. High, lower, high, lower, high, lower. No highs, lower. So there was a bit of a big sell-off here the last 2 days, 3 days in the market, as you can see it on the live also 40 chart with a 30-minute delay happening here. So the big question is, can this channel still continue? See a bit of relief happening. As soon as this index breaks this 45,700 points upwards, you're going to actually see a reversal head and shoulder happening here. And look at this, here's the leg, here's the shoulder, there's the head. So it could go back to this 45,700 and then break up again if this pattern wants to confirm. This is actually starting to form a positive pattern, but it needs to break 45,700. Looking at the bigger picture, looking at this picture here, and I'm going to put this on the hour chart just to reveal it much better to you. Look at this head and shoulder pattern here. Low, that's the leg, that's the shoulder, that's the head, that's the shoulder, and that's the leg again. So let's see if this could play out and start getting a bit of a sideways movement. And if you go back to the end of day chart, you can actually see now it's bouncing on this green. So you need to see if it's going to get support here and start breaking up, or start breaking down here, and if that live data will be supported on this part here for basically a recovery happening on a positive reversal and shoulder pattern. Let's go and look at quickly at the Shoprite chart quickly. Still breaking down, downward channel, still expecting the 151 as the next low, currently trading at 153. So very soon we need to go and look for opportunity at low prices, and if the share can't still break up here in this negative channel. Looking at Truworths, Truworths started to break to 61.8% in this downward channel here. So this share is still in a downward cycle, definitely. Woolies, let's see what Woolies did. Woolies broke this low here, started to break down. Now to extend this green line here, it's actually testing it as well. Let's do this quickly. Looking at that channel there, I'm going to extend it. And you can see the 76s are basically a low level at this moment. The big question is, can it bounce and break up again? Looking at some indicators, there's some indications more downward cycling to happen here. Look at your stochastics starting to turn. So we need to shift the bigger picture. If this year can break 76 Rand, definitely next low at 74 Rand in the short term. Let's go look at the Barclays Bank quickly here. I'm going to put this on a year chart. Let's make it a 2-year chart, still in a positive channel upwards here. Cycles are getting smaller. High cycle, small cycle, high cycle. So this high is lower than that high, and this low is lower than this. So there's a lot of uncertainties. You can actually draw up a channel here, and there could be a breakup or a breakdown happening very soon in this one. And let me just explain to you what I mean here. Look at this. Just an indication. And look at this. So this is the likely triangle happening here. Indication is showing a downward movement happening still here on this specific share. Stochastics is up, and let's see what RSI is saying. RSI is showing a bit of down, so it could go and test this 159.50 levels in this current trading at 160, but it's a lot of sideways uncertainty on that specific trade. Look at Standard Bank as well. I'm just going to draw up a line here. Just almost looks the same as Standard Bank, so you can see there's a lot of uncertainty if the market wants to come down on these levels here. So let's see if we can break this low here. Definitely go back to 140 levels from the 145 levels. Otherwise, touch the 145, go back to 147 levels in the short term. I want to go and look at Discovery quickly, and this is important to me because these kind of shares tend to go up. You can see testing new highs. Broke that previous resistance on the top here, going higher. Keep a close eye on this share for any movement upwards or downwards between the black line and the green line in the short term. MTN. Now MTN, if you zoom in here, I've explained to you last few days, look at this breakdown happening here. It broke the green line downwards, getting support on this 23.6%. Very, very important. So you can use this previous lows here as well. At any time if it breaks it down, definitely a downward cycle, but it could actually bounce up again and go higher. So the next day or two is going to be very important to track these shares technically, as well as Vodacom. Look at Vodacom, up, starting to go down. Definitely needs to go and break 127.88. Currently trading at 128.53. If it breaks 127.88, next low definitely 125.32 in the short term. Barloworld. Looking at Barloworld, they started to break down, trading at 99.48. Big question is starting to, can this one go and do the same downward channel like this pole here on the reversal flag formation? If it could, next low could be definitely 990 Rand in the short term. So let's keep a close eye on here. If it breaks 99, definitely you're going to see this back at 90 Rand in the short term. Looking at technicals. And you can see the indication is still on the downward side here on some of these indicators. Yeah, still a downside here. RSI, still a downside. Let's go to African Rainbow Minerals. Looking at this, still trading in this pattern in the sideways for me. No breakups or breakdowns. It's an expensive share, but look at this. Again, 180, 186, 192. That is the current lows and highs from the specific trade. And the indicators will also show there's a bit of a downside, so it could go back to this 185 levels that you can actually see as currently trading at 187. So let's see what it does after in the next 2 days, if it's going to break 185 downwards or start testing it and break back to the 192 levels in the short term. One share I just want to go keep eye on is Mr. Price. I'm expecting this one. Look at this reversal head and shoulder pattern. Leg, shoulder, head, shoulder, went back to the high. Now we need to see if this one could go back from the 180s back to this 173, 174 levels. Currently trading at 178, so there could be opportunity breakdown. But this is very important. The next two factors, again, if we go back to this, will the market break this green line and go further down? And will it happen from here, this side here? So this 45,400 is going to be very critical, because if it breaks it, definitely the next low will be 45,000 points. So keep an eye on the following: 45,400 breaks it, definitely going back to 45,000 levels. If it breaks 47,000, definitely go back to the 46,000 levels in the short term. Enjoy your trading.